Hello, I'm Joshua, and I'm going to be giving you guys a quick tutorial on Golf Around. So, mostly I'm just going to show the editor to you guys. As I get into Golf Around editor, and I'll start recording. There we go. Okay, so, Golf Around has some simple features, which can be a little bit confusing at times when you first get started. So, I'm going to first show you what the start Y really is, because start Y really is the starting height for the object that you have here. Now, it's very important that you know exactly what height this object is going to be. So, if I will show you real quick, I'm going to put an object here that's going to be at that height, and you know it's at Y19. But if I place another block here, it's going to be a different height. So, what you really want to do is put 19 in here. And then you have something else, there we go, yeah, it's at the same height. And that really helps you when it comes down to, doing that. Another really important feature would be the snap feature. The snap feature kinda really helps you when it comes down to, I have zones that snaps into. If I were to turn off snap, you'd get this, which I will never be able to get that exact ever again, so we'll say that that's a little bit of a downside, but sometimes you do have to unsnap it, like certain things where you're doing something special in your map, you have to unsnap it, and you then have to be very careful just so it works out. Moving forward, let's delete that real quick, just so I can show you more things. There are many different kind of tools in here. One is that you can create a floor out of nothing. Just have a floor. Now, when you create this floor, it's important to know that you have these wall tools. Now, this is for a slope, so each wall is set for different objects. Now, me personally, I've actually used some of these walls at times to create some buildings. And when you create the buildings, it let's just say it works somewhat well. But as you can see here, I can actually use to put walls in the bounds of my object here, and then I can have an edge. Now, if you ever check out my map for Golf Around uses this quite often, and especially some of the later courses. Mostly this helps you when you want to create something like here. Let me delete this so I can show you. Where's it? Where it is. Here it is. So if I wanted to have like a curve for like a cap, something like this here, I will use a feature like that. And it's not quite. There we go. So I would basically delete this and delete this so that, you know, I'll have a proper edge to put on here. Because what we just now have is a dip. On a dip edge. Because you want to give the people you're trying to show your courses to a little bit of a challenge. So, this gives them a little bit of a challenge. And if they were to come in at this at high speeds, they're going to literally lose. So, that's actually really important if you want to give people a challenge. Leaving the course is kind of fun. It makes it a little bit more realistic, because you can leave a course in an actual miniature golf game if you played the miniature golf. So, moving on. There are no sand traps in the game right now, so you can't have sand traps in the editor, you can't have water in the editor, you can't have anything else like that, but terrain can have. Now, I can do the normal raise by just holding the left click. And I can do that wherever I want. Making hills out of nothing. And then on top of that, oh, went to the wrong thing, there are many different settings in here. So, I have paint texture, which I can literally make this snow if I wanted to. Now it's all snow. Or I can smooth. Just smooths this down so it's not ragged like it was a minute ago. So everything that you made doesn't have to look odd anymore. Now it can be smoothened out, but not flattened. It's just smooth, not flat. So I think I used a little bit too much power in there and made it practically flat. So yeah, don't do what I was doing there, but so. And I can also show you that you can also set the height So right here, the height is starting at 0. I can set height to whatever I want. Now that's 400. And as you can see, I have a large mountain now, which really, I wouldn't even looks like a mountain. But as you can see in my game, I was actually able to create like a mountain look in mine, and it worked very well. This is very important for making your game kind of texturized and give it a little bit of a scenery. So I will, with more going in here, I'm going to open up the course that I've been working on, just so I can show you guys. Okay, so here is the Kingdom Arrival course that I've been slowly working on. Now you can see here that I use all these features, including terrain and everything like that, and I have created mountains in the corners here, mountains here, which is actually village, and you go to environment and you find mountains. Now that they have the actual terrain, I'm not sure if I would use them unless you want to have more than one texture of mountains in your map. But you can tell that the combination of using all these tools really gives life to your environment in your course. And this will definitely get people to come back and again to play your course. I know many of the courses currently that are on the workshop aren't the best, but hopefully some of these tips are going to help you that I just gave. Other than that, I did not really show you guys. Here, I'll just open one. Okay. There we go. And I will show you that are on bumps and stuff. So, you have all this, but you want to have a hole in the middle of nothing. So, what you really would do for that is you go into Other, and you see these little holes here. I can have a 2x2 hole or a 1x1 square block tile hole. Now, these are actually really small. You'll see right there, that is terribly small. Actually, I'm going to back to 4 height here so we don't have to do that anymore. Yeah. And you see it's pretty small. Not much to it, but I can also use this 2x2 square to enlarge that. So that's 2, 4, 6, and we need at least one other for 8. 8. 2, 4. Yes, okay, that's right. And now you can go back to your floors and add floors to the sides. Or that's actually a slope, but we'll go with that. You have a slope there too. And of course, you want to add walls down the sides of these so it looks correct necessarily. And you also want to add edges like this edge. I'll just place in here. All this gives your hole the general look that you want to give it. So that's basically the basics. There are many other tools though that you can go into. Many of them are like slopes, and I did want to give you a quick hint on the slopes because the slopes actually have a little thing about them. Like if you look at this, you have slope 2, 4, and or slope 4, and so on and so forth. You can have your or smooth 4. So this one has no walls, this one has walls, that's basically the difference, and this one's smooth, which means it curves up and then curves back to a flat line. So, we're going forward. When you're looking at your slope, the number for 4, did you notice that that's at the same height there? Or at least it should be. Is that right? Yes, it is at the same height. Yes, okay. I think I'm just make that forward. There you go. So you have the same height here. This legitimately will go 4 up higher. So if I went to 8 on the start height, I can literally just place my next block at the same height as what that ramp goes up to. that I found is very helpful. Or if you want to continue that ramp, you can even go even further by going at 8 and then placing the next ramp. That's just a big ease of access when you're going at different levels or different heights. And it is simply important when it comes down to creating your courses. This hole here is not actually, I add this is not an actual hole. It will go right through this hole. There is no thing there. That's a trick. So basically, that's a tricky way to make people go out of bounds. I'm not that mean, but I know some courses do have that. I like to have the natural miniature golf-like feel, of course, most of the time. So, yeah. And you have curves, and the difference between the curves and edges, which you'll see an edge dialog here. This one allows you to reflect and bounce off of. This one you'll just run across, and this is actually realistic to real life, where that will actually happen if you had hit it with an actual golf ball. You will literally go around. Those physics are exactly the same to a real miniature golf game. I'm pretty sure that's about it. You guys should get the simple mechanics of boost and other stuff like that. I don't think I have to go into detail on that, and I really, that. See, now I'm at 8 height, so I should have changed that to 4. I will say one thing, and just in case you guys don't get about the heights, height 0 is the normal standard ground level. So if I wanted to put like an environmental object like a building, that building is now at ground level, and I can rotate it like so, and it will be wherever I want it. And I can rapidly, easily place that, and it will be wherever I want it, however I want. I can even, I'm at ground level. So if I went to 4 height, I can even place rapidly, something like that, and it will be right where I want it to really give someone a headache when they're in a course. And yeah, I would say that's about pretty much the gist of everything. Of course, you always want to give your players spawn point, so that's hole 1. Of course, we didn't really make anything here, so we'll put a flag here. This is just to show you guys a little bit on how you make things. And in every course, you want to have boundaries. That's pretty much what you really need in a course. So those are your boundary walls. Basically, I'm going to show you real quickly what the boundary really means. If I were to do this, it'd just teleport me back because I went that far out of bounds that I could be conflicting with another course, and you don't want that. So, and as you remember, I was explaining a little. Oh, that didn't work. But as I was explaining a little bit ago, if you go through that, you're not going to. It's just going to give you a headache in a real golf course. So and it works. Just go right into your hole and be done. You can get on with your golf game and relatively have fun with friends. There are some things, though, that I will say Golf Around does need to really incorporate into their game. Things like sand traps, things like lava, water. And if you think about the trains, all I can do with the train is go up and down. And if I hold R here, I can go down. Further down, however I want. But I can't make a cave out of this, can I? I can't, like, hollow out a section where it goes forward and doesn't find what I just did here. I can't do that. So, the real point of that is there are features that could be added that would be relatively nice and make people come back for more. So, that's mostly it. The only other thing I didn't really show you guys is how to copy and paste. It is not Control-C and Control-V in this game. It is F. I press F, I just copied and pasted. I don't know why it's that way, but don't do Control-C and Control-V. it won't work. It will basically set you in for a loss because you won't have. I think that's about it. So I hope you at least got the basics of this video just to show you some little hinters on how to create your courses, and want to come back and see more videos. So please leave a like if you're watching from YouTube. If you're watching from Steam, you can subscribe to the course that I have. So have fun.